Hello and welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to start the East Asian section for our mapping. So, in East Asia, we have the countries of China, which is called as the People's Republic of China. We have Mongolia. We have uh, Hong Kong, which is a part of China, but there have been some contentions over its autonomy. Then we have Taiwan, which is called as the Republic of China. We have South Korea and the famous North Korea. There are some tensions between both of these countries as well. And we have the island country of Japan. So, encompassing East Asia, there is Pacific Ocean towards its eastern side. We have South China Sea, there is Sea of Japan, and some other water bodies which we'll be knowing in another video. So, Uh, let's move on to the countries. First is Hong Kong. So it was earlier under British rule, which was then transferred to China in 1997. So the British actually transferred Hong Kong to China in the year 1997. So it is the country where there is one country, two system rules. So different contentions over that as well. Anyways, the other country is Mongolia. You might have heard about the Mongolian invasion of India in medieval history. So it's that Mongolia, some parts of that Mongolia basically. So Mongolia is rich in reserves of uranium. So the uranium reserves are of utmost important in utmost importance in Mongolian region. India-Mongolia civil nuclear deal. It's also in use. The capital of Mongolia is Ulaanbaatar. So Mongolia is over here. Mongolia is the neighbor of China and Russia from this side. And I guess that this one is Kazakhstan. So tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, just trying to have a fun banter in the comments. That's it. There is no motive of garnering a lot of comments and just focusing on the preparation. That's it. Anyways, moving on to the next country, which is North Korea. Uh, the North Korea's capital is Pyongyang. I hope I have pronounced it right. North Korea's capital is Pyongyang. Uh, it lies in the same latitude as Beijing. So uh, here is North Korea. The capital of North Korea lies in the same latitude as Beijing. So North Korea is a country which is not a part of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. So the Non-Proliferation Treaty is basically a treaty signed for checking the growth of nuclear weapons, and North Korea is not a part of it. So the three neighbors of North Korea are basically uh, South Korea, China from the northern border, and there is a very small corridor through which it connects with Russia as well. So the three permanent neighbors of North Korea are South Korea, China, and Russia. So South Korea, the BTS fangirls and K-pop fans assemble. Anyways, the capital of South Korea is Seoul. Uh, the border between both of the Koreas, South Korea and North Korea, is 38-degree north parallel. So this is basically the border between North Korea and South Korea, 38-degree north parallel. It has only one neighbor, that is North Korea. So like it shares land boundary with only one of the countries, which is North Korea, and it is a major threat to South Korea as well. The only country you share a border with, and the only country you share a border with, and that's the country who is your uh, kind of an enemy. Anyways, the next country is Japan. Japan, as we all know, is famous for technological innovations and disasters. So Japan is known for its disaster management. It's a pro in disaster management. So you might see that there have been some disaster, but in the next 4 or 5 days, you might see that there is new infrastructure built up. They are so much resilient, and they have actually adapted to all of these disasters because all of these cyclones hit towards the Japan coast, and there have been numerous tectonic as well as many disasters. But Japan has proved to be so resilient that it has now garnered all of its efficiencies in infrastructure as well as technology. So Japan is the largest urban area in Japan by population is Tokyo. So you might all have also heard about the Ikigai book. So Ikigai is basically related to Japan. It's a concept in Japan. Japan is an island arc which was made because of the subduction of the Pacific plate. So Pacific Ocean is over here. There is a Pacific plate, and because of the subduction of the Pacific plate, it led to the creation of Japan. So like Pacific plate is moving over here, moving to this side, and it's subducting uh, below this plate, and therefore we have these islands of Japan. The island arc is created. So moving on to Central Asia. Central Asia is a very famous uh, bone of contention in the recent years. So uh, here Afghanistan is also mentioned, but Afghanistan is basically a South Asian country. It's not a Central Asian country, but it's included for kind of reference. So there was a question in UPSC where the neighbors of Afghanistan were asked. So we'll just look into it. Afghanistan's capital is Kabul, and uh, Afghanistan's neighbors are Pakistan, obviously. It is also a neighbor of India because it is connected. This Indian map is distorted because we have POK, which is an integral part of India, and Aksai Chin as well. So, Afghanistan is connected to India through the Wakhan border. So, till here, there is Indian uh, borders, and it is connected to India through the Wakhan corridor. So, Afghanistan's neighbors are India, Pakistan, Iran. So over here you could see that it is connected to China in this map, but this is an anomaly. This is distortion because it is connected to China over here through POK, but POK is an integral part of India, so it is not a neighbor of China. It is a neighbor of Iran, Pakistan, India, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. So let us have a look at the Central Asian countries. So, to understand Central Asia, let's take Uzbekistan as a reference. So, keeping Uzbekistan as a reference, to the south of Uzbekistan lies Turkmenistan. To its north lies the Kazakhstan. To its right is Kyrgyzstan, and to its uh, southeast lies Tajikistan. So, these are the five stans uh, of this. There are basically six stans, uh, seven stans actually, if we consider Afghanistan and Pakistan. But considering Central Asian stans, there is Uzbekistan towards the at down of it to at the bottom of it is the Turkmenistan. Then we have Kazakhstan. Let's try to keep it in a clockwise order. So there is Turkmenistan, there is Uzbekistan, then there is Kazakhstan, there is Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and obviously there is Afghanistan. But Afghanistan is not a Central Asian country. Just trying to uh, pay more emphasis to it because everybody makes mistake in this. Anyways, so the capitals. The capitals of Kazakhstan is Nur Sultan. The capital of Uzbekistan is obviously Tashkent. You might have heard of it. The capital of Turkmenistan is Ashgabat. The capital of Tajikistan is Dushanbe, and of Kyrgyzstan is Bishkek. Bishkek, not Bishkek, Bishkek. So in a clockwise order, it is Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. So moving on to the countries. Also over here, you could see that there is Caspian Sea, which is bordering Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. So Caspian Sea is a very important water body over here. It has its border in Central Asia with the two countries which are Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Also, considering the physical features, there is a Ural river which flows through Kazakhstan, uh, and it basically forms a boundary between the Ural Mountains. Basically, form a boundary between Asia and Europe. Same as the Ural River. To the west of it lies the Europe continent, and towards its right is Asia. So, moving on. Kazakhstan, it was a northern country, like it was to the north of Uzbekistan. So, Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world. So, Russia is the largest country, but in terms of area, but it has its coast. But Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world. Kazakhstan's capital was Nur Sultan. It is known for Baikonur Cosmodrome. Baikonur Cosmodrome because it was the first human space flight, and from here Yuri Gagarin went to space. So Baikonur Cosmodrome. So it's from here there was first human space flight because this was all a part of USSR, the erstwhile USSR, which split in the year 1991. Then we come to Kyrgyzstan, which is at the uh, east of Uzbekistan. So Kyrgyzstan is basically 80% of it is a mountainous region. The capital is Bishkek, and Bishkek is known for its declaration on snow leopards recently. So the declaration on snow leopards. Then we come to Tajikistan towards the south of Kyrgyzstan. Yeah, towards the south of Kyrgyzstan, and the capital is Dushanbe. Tajikistan is also a mountainous region. It has Khor Air Base and it is operated by India. So the Khor Air Base in Tajikistan is operated by India. So we could see that towards the route of Tajikistan, how could India go to Tajikistan? India could have access the Wakhan corridor, then move to Tajikistan. So with India, then go to Wakhan corridor, then we have the access to Afghanistan, and then from Afghanistan you can move to Tajikistan. But there have been contentions in the Wakhan corridor as well, and as I have told you about that earlier. Anyways, going to Turkmenistan. So Turkmenistan was towards the uh, west of Uzbekistan. Turkmenistan is known for its natural gas reserves and the Tapi pipeline. Tapi is basically Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India pipeline for natural gas. So it is connected like this. From here, the pipeline would go like this to India. So in its way, it passes through Turkmenistan, which is the source of natural gases. Then it goes to Afghanistan, then Pakistan, and then to India. The Tapi pipeline. It is also in news. So the capital of Turkmenistan is basically Ashgabat. Ashgabat is also famous for its declaration, the Ashgabat Agreement. It was to connect Central Asia with India. So uh, we basically have so much of animally or so much of rigidness in actually going to access the Central Asian corridor because Wakhan corridor is basically illegally occupied by our neighbor and it is Pakistan occupied. It is in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So, in order to access the route to Central Asia, now have to uh, take out different. We now have to make different agreements with different countries of the Western of the Central world. So there is also the Chabar port in Iran, which was kind of seen as a access to West Asia, as access to Central Asia. So, on similar terms, Ashgabat Agreement is like a way to connect Central Asia with India. Then our reference country, which is Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is a doubly landlocked country. Doubly landlocked in the sense that you would have to cross one more country. You would have to cross two countries in order to reach towards the ocean coast, towards the coast, like towards the ocean. So you could see that Uzbekistan is over here. you have to cross Turkmenistan and then Iran, then you would reach to the coast. So it's a doubly landlocked country. It is surrounded by other landlocked countries. That's Uzbekistan. The capital of Uzbekistan is Tashkent. So, let's revise it once again. So we have Uzbekistan, then there is Kazakhstan, whose capital is Nur Sultan. So Kazakhstan is like the largest landlocked country in the world, and it's known for the Baikonur Cosmodrome, where there was first human space flight. Then we have Kyrgyzstan, whose capital is Bishkek. It is 80% a mountainous region, and there was a declaration on snow leopards. Then there is Turkmenistan, which is famous for the TAP pipeline and Ashgabat agreement in order to connect India to West Asia. Then there is Tajikistan, which is also a mountainous region, and its capital is Dushanbe. So, moving on to Russia. So, Russia is also a part of Asia, and it lies to the northernmost part of Asia. Russia has its border towards the Arctic Ocean in the north, and then Pacific Ocean towards the east, and there are the Ural Mountains which basically form the land boundary between Europe and Asia. So Russia basically lies between both Europe and Asia. Russia's neighbors are Kazakhstan, uh, Mongolia, China is also a neighbor, and the countries of Europe. So the Asian neighbors are basically Kazakhstan, Mongolia, China, and over here North Korea as well, because it has a little border with Russia. So the erstwhile USSR. The erstwhile USSR comprised of modern-day Russia with the five Khans, which is the Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. Then towards the Caspian Sea, there is Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. And then the Belem countries, like abbreviation Belem countries, which is Belarus, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Ukraine, and Moldova. So these are the countries which were part of the erstwhile USSR. So there is Baikal Lake over here, and the Aral Sea and Caspian Sea. These are the famous water bodies in that region. So Georgia. Moving on to Georgia, this is also a part of uh, Asia only. So there is Chechnya, which is bordering Russia. So this is Georgia, and it has its border in Russia. There is a place in news which is Chechnya. We have Abkhazia, South Ossetia. These are trying to separate from Georgia. These are separatist movements. Like there is separatist movements going on in Abkhazia and South Ossetia. Then there is a region in Russia which is Dagestan. There also is a separatist movement going on. Then we have the very famous Nagorno-Karabakh. This has been used for quite some time. It is basically a bone of contention between Armenia and Azerbaijan, the countries towards the Caspian Sea. So Nagorno-Karabakh is basically a part of Azerbaijan, but it has more Armenian majority people. So Armenian majority Christians reside over here. So there have been differences and mini wars going. So Azerbaijan, the capital of Azerbaijan is Baku. Baku lies over here near to Caspian Sea, and it is oil producing. And Baku is famous for the COP29 UNFCCC. So 2024 UNFCCC was held in Baku. So uh, with this, we've come to an end to this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one where we discuss about West Asia and the other physical and political features of Asia. Till then, see ya. Bye.